Katie's legacy. Katie Jean Robinson was born April 6, 1966, and she passed into glory on February 28, 2019, at the age of 52.
From my perspective, they had a magical childhood. When they talk about sharing a room, which two girls or maybe all three girls shared a room and they got like their own color wall. It's just, she absolutely loved her family. That's her number one. She loved God and she loved her family. She wasn't to me anyway, she wasn't a daddy's girl or a mama's girl. She just loved them both.
She was a cheerleader, and I was so proud of that. I was proud that I had a big sister who was a cheerleader. She loved to make people laugh. I think some people would think it was off color at times.
She was absolutely downright just hilarious. Goofy, funny parts of myself, she would bring that out.
She always had a smile on her face. She was just so much fun to be around. She was so full of joy.
The word raw came to me before I started this video. Katie's life was raw. That's what my spirit told me. Just say the word raw.
Katie Jean quote, "I'd rather be dead than pretentious."
She rejected pretense at its root, believed for you, stood with you, danced with you in the faith, and hoped for you, even when she struggled with herself.
It was part of who she was, and she wasn't afraid maybe to laugh at or take lightly things that could otherwise be serious.
She gets it from her daddy.
I just remember she had a lot of friends.
Katie was just one of my best friends growing up. We played softball together on softball teams. We with Pards. We did Pepsters together. We were on the Southside Pep Squad, and she was always laughing and cutting up, and so was I. We were like big jokesters, I think, both of us. The time in school where everybody talked about what they wanted to be when they grew up, I said I wanted to be a florist. And I mean, there was some laughs from some of the kids in the classroom, and they're like, "What is that? We don't even know what that is." And I'm like, that would be someone who works with flowers, and that's what I want to do and be. And Katie was like, "Kathy is going to be the best florist in the whole wide world, because even when she just picks flowers, they look beautiful." And I love owning my own flower shop. And there are sometimes I think of Katie, you know, during the daytime, I'll see sunflowers, which always remind me of Katie, because she was just like a brilliant, beautiful sunflower.
After Katie passed, I don't remember if it was the same year she passed, but sometime after she passed, I had a dream. Katie came in to see me, full of joy, in a small flower shop that I owned. I remember thinking, that's so wild. She loved flowers. Of course, now I have a dried flowers business. She also loved music.
We put the records on, and it was Linda Ronstadt.
Linda Ronstadt, Simon and Garfunkel. Simon and Garfunkel is a favorite.
Give me a lift and I'll hear you back. Love is a road, but you better not think it on the road.
I heard a song the other day, Delta Dawn, and it brought all the memories back.
Delta Dawn, what's that flower you have on? Could it be a faded rose from days gone by?
So much of our teenage years was spent with her driving, us riding in the car and her driving, and just having the music on, singing and laughing. And
I wrote a song about her, and it's a song that's laced with phrases. Wouldn't necessarily say lyrics, sometimes maybe parts of the lyrics. It's phrases, not full lyrics, from several different songs that remind me of her.
Homeward you were bound, you're home now, our sleepy Jean, you know that you are seen.
That's her name meaning. Katie means pure. Jean, it's like the feminine version of John, and it means graced by God.
Love truly is a rose, and so are you.
We really had a lot of uplifting, amazing conversations. Uprooting of what's not authentic and just being free. You know, during the teen years when most people are learning who they are and discovering identity, discovering what we like, who we are. Katie was pregnant with her firstborn. My father had a colostomy, and financially, physically, emotionally, it was very challenging year. One weekday morning on the way to a dental appointment, an explanation arrived by way of a few short words from my mom. Your sister's pregnant. My older sister, Katie, was then just 2.5 months shy of 17. And we had only 1 month to prepare for the arrival of her baby. Jamie Elizabeth Robinson was born March 9, 1983. She was light and laughter breaking through our clouds of darkness.
I know that she struggled, but she served the Lord. I believe with all my heart and all my soul and every fiber of my being that I will see her when I get to my eternal destination.
I remember during her teen years, she had a nickname, Oops. That might be how Katie felt about her life. The weight of her pregnancy had a profound effect on her. Ultimately, Katie took a path down the road of drugs, and I remember times of her not being there. I cannot remember how long, but she ultimately served a sentence. It felt like forever. But I know those were years of maybe introspection, reflection.
When Katie was in jail, she painted some t-shirts for our family. The Ninja Turtle shirt. It's epic. Everyone knows about it. I want it for Bo, so if you have it, I'd love to let Bo wear it, at least for a picture, and you can have it back. Recently, my mom was in the attic. She found a t-shirt that she painted for my dad, blue and tie-dye, and it's got Jesus on it, and she painted him quite dark. I don't think intentionally, but yes, I'm so happy to have that. My dad agreed to let me keep it, and I will cherish it forever.
While Katie was in jail, she studied Louisiana law. She had a desire maybe to help people. I don't know if I would say people maybe that were wrongfully charged, or just people who struggled in general.
My mother wanted to get a grant to open up an abuse house.
In 1999, around the years 1999, 2000, I worked with Katie. I have some amazing memories of working with her, doing data collecting. I cannot recall the town, maybe Eunice, but I'm not sure. I mean, we're driving what felt like one block over and over and over because it was supposed to be where we were. And the reason why we weren't seeing it is because it was a tiny little hole in the wall of a town. So it was easy to overlook. So we finally realized that's it. So we pull in the back of this unlikely building for a courthouse. And I look and see a sign over a parking spot. I just shook my head at the sign and I said, "Are you serious? The office." The sign said in all capital letters, DAOFFICE. Katie's falling out at this point, and I'm sure you may be now listening. Maybe every time you see a DA's office sign, you'll think of this and get a kick out of it. Those memories just they sit differently now. Like neon signs or, in 3D. She remembered all of our birthdays.
January 23rd was my birthday, and she called me on January 29th just to apologize because she missed my birthday. But I never ended up calling her back. I got super busy with work and just newborn and kept putting it off. I was like, I'm gonna call her back. And a month later, she passed away. She said, if you call me back, I'll call you front.
If you call me back, I'll call you front. I love you so much.
That's a big deal.
It killed me in the moment when I was like, I never called her back. Yeah, it just is a reminder to not let too much time go by without reaching out to the people that you love.
We had a trip with Katie, my aunt's beach house. It's sort of a bayou house.
And she and I like rode together. She just kept me laughing the whole time. She just was so silly, talking about living on the land. Like,
I wouldn't want to eat it off the road. But I guess if we were like living off the land,
and it was hot.
like right now, you could crack an egg and it would cook on this.
Katie had walked out to the water by herself for a little while, and it was raining and thundering.
And I asked my mom where she went, and she told me she went out to the beach by herself, and so I just ran out after her, and we walked down to the beach together even though it was raining.
I know that they had a special moment, a special time out there. I knew that there was a healing that took place there for her. I remember her face when she came back, just the peace on her face. She walked away from that bayou in the rain, the pouring down rain, and came back so much lighter. And I remember her saying, "This will be my last time here." I thought that was such an interesting thing to say. That last year of her life sort of took a toll on her. We lost Katie's grandson, Jesse James. It's interesting. It's been said that negative emotions that we often hold on to that are not released will settle into various organs of the body, and grief is said to settle into the lungs. And I find that interesting because Katie had COPD, ultimately causing her heart to fail. And so I would say she died of a broken heart.
It's just hard to describe it. I felt it very deeply. It's sad when you lose someone that really got you.
I miss the times that I missed out on with her. And I don't think I ever dealt with it. I'm bad about doing that. I don't deal with things. But, so Katie's helping me with this.
I think in the grieving process, just to keep talking about them.
I think it's important that we find a way to talk about the hard things. And I think it's important that we lean in to the Lord and trust Him to lead us to talk about those things, because healing comes forth when we allow Him just to enter into the loss, the grieving. He's already there. But when we allow Him in our awareness, He overtakes it every time. Katie had another phrase. It'll be all right in a minute. It'll be all right in a minute. As great of an ache that it is, it's no comparison to the peace. It's not even a fair fight. I saw that taking place in Katie.
One thing I admired about her and would love to see more in myself is not caring what other people think. She definitely did not.
I, for one, am grateful that Katie was not pretentious. She refused to be.
Terry, why you do this to me, man? Terry, don't make me come looking for you, Terry. Terry, call me. Terry, you won't hear the story, Terry. All right now, I'm not gonna beg no more now. I love you.
Love truly is a rose, and so are you. his love songs theme. Katie G, pure and graced by God. We capture glimpses of your smile on sunshine's dancing joy. Sorrows quickly left behind. You're dancing now, we're dancing too. Our brown-eyed girl. Did you know that you were seen? You know it now, you know it now. So I'll surrender the could have
Katie, you're missed and loved every day.
We love her and we miss her so much.
But I love you, and I miss you so much.
I said Jesus.
I miss you, sister. Love you always. You're not far. I know you're cheering me on.